Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, please let me welcome for the first time the mighty D.I.C.E on European soil. Thank you very much. Well, my name is I'm Victor Kisley. I'm the CEO of Wargaming.net. We are 2,200 passionate people scattered around 16 offices around the world. We make and run this relatively successful online PC game called World of Tanks. Well, soon it will come to Xbox 360 and mobile devices, and we are making some other games like World of Warplanes, World of Warships, but today it's not about us. Today I want to talk to you about the future of the video game industry. It sounds like the future is already knocking on our door. So let's make a little history perspective. During hundreds of years, maybe thousands, there were certain inventions which dramatically changed our world. Take printing press. It forever changed the way we share information and we learn. Cinema changed the way we look at the world. And if you think about radio, automobile, of course, internet, computers, smartphones, they all changed our everyday lives forever, but they also dramatically, tectonically, if you would, changed the global economy. You can not even assign the amount of money how much they changed our economy. And I'm saying that, and you agree with me, that video game industry is one of these land-shifting industries, and it keeps knocking on the door. So while being so great and changing our lives already and being a cultural phenomenon, a form of art, financials are not looking good. It is just little tiny $75 billion, and experts say we're going to have 6% yearly growth. Really? Are you ready to sustain that humiliation? I say, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to. I say that we can set for ourselves a little more ambitious goal. So, gaming industry should be 200 billion yearly revenue, dollars, with a B, by the end of 2016. That sounds a little bit scary, right? Well, I'm going to show you a couple of mathematical calculations to show you that this is theoretically possible. I'm going to show you a couple of ways of how we together may do this, and I hope that by the end of this lecture, probably the future will not look so scary to you. As an industry, we are creative and innovative, but we have to actually understand what kind of business we are. For example, what kind of industry, what kind of business? There are many industries competing for various resources, and we're going to talk about resources. Let's, for example, take beer. Okay, how do we measure beer? Definitely we can do it with liters or with pints. We can also measure beer with the amount of money we pay for it, right? So that's whatever, $5 per pint. But I think that we also can measure beer with time. So it takes approximately half an hour to drink a pint in a pub while talking to your friends and relaxing. So coming back to money, coming back to time, it's 1 hour, $10. So if we go to Köln, there people tend to measure beer with meters, and with our presence there as an industry for 3 days, I think we can we can be proud of drinking a couple of square miles of beer in Köln during the Gamescom's days. So, time is the currency here. It's very important currency, and as I just mentioned, we can measure it with meters, with square meters, but at the end of the day, it comes to money. Can you please have the Köln slide? No, you're going backwards in time. Köln, everybody remembers that. So, at the end of the day, beer is measured with time, and time is the most valuable resource people have. So, and yet we are having screw-ups, huh? So, Köln, give the next slide after Köln. You get it, $10 per hour. Well, the fact is that when we pay $10 for our drinking beer in a pub, we're not so much paying for the beer itself. We are paying for the time we are willing to spend there. So let's look at other industries which are after our time. Have a look.
The internet is really, really great.
For porn.
I got a fast connection so I don't have to wait.
For porn.
What? There's always some new site.
For porn.
I browse all day and night.
For porn.
It's like I'm surfing at the speed of light.
For porn. Yeah.
Yes, you heard that right. Well, those of you who did not get it, you can watch the full version on YouTube. I guarantee it's funny. So people spend time watching popcorn, and by the way, this kind of industry is $150 billion worth. There are other time-killing things like, okay, beer we mentioned, this is 500 billion. Legal gambling is for $450 billion. Cigarette tobacco smoking is $500 billion. Glossy magazines is 100 billion. So you can come up with a bunch of other industries which are after our time and eventually money. So we have to find our own place in this world and understand what we are competing for and what we are about to. I can illustrate my point with the conclusion of a fantastic classical book called Marketing Myopia. Well, it's a surprisingly short book, but I can be even shorter, giving you just a couple of sentences. So the author claims that, for example, Hollywood almost died at the hands of cinema because, television, because Hollywood was thinking that they're in movie-making business, when in reality, this is entertainment business. The same for American railways. They were thinking they are in the railway business. However, this is transportation business. That's why they look so small in comparison with airlines. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's be true to ourselves. Along with, of course, being electronic entertainment industry, we all are in time-killing business. And this time-killing business, by the way, by mere calculation, very simple calculation, is no less than $2 trillion US. And our 75 billion looks so small and tiny in this comparison. Just imagine, and 6% growth, come on. We can do better. I say we can do better. So think of this. If we just manage to carve just a couple of extra percent out of this filthy multi-trillion-dollar time-killing pie, and then monetize that extra time, and we all know that we can monetize gaming time, then we are easily reaching our 200 billion goal. The next point, it's not easy. There are other industries where people spend tons of money without even spending time.
box mart, cause I do have lots of needs. And they sell crap the cheapest with their discounts guaranteed. When I'm walking through the aisles, it's like I'm hypnotized. With a wallet full of credit cards, I never leave deprived. Oh, Big Box Mart, thank you for serving me. Cause my house is full of crap now and it used to be empty.
Okay, trillions of dollars in the pockets, and people burn that money. So yes, we have the potential to take time-killing money or physical consumption money. Good news for us, it sounds a little bit cynical, is that there's already a generation of young people, the kids, who already used to this cyber consumerism. In games like Hobo Hotel, they think it's much cooler to pay actual, well, little, but still actual money for tables, for little decorations, to impress their friends, and apparently dozens of thousands of strange friends, strange people as well. So we are good to go with the money in people's pockets. My last mathematical consideration, again, is very simple and it nails it. Please have a look. Newzoo, the consulting company, they calculated that every 7th person on Earth is an active gamer. If we just that gives us 1.2 billion players. If we manage to monetize that person, let's say 50 cents per day, that's not a dramatical amount of money which will just kill you or change your life forever. Just 50 cents per person, 365 days, we are arriving at our approximately $200 billion gaming industry. So the money is there, let's go and take it. It sounds easy. Well, of course, it sounds much easier than in the reality. So now let me talk to you about those things which we as an industry can do to grab that money. The list is long, and you will add many more points to that list. So I'm just giving you philosophical, spiritual direction. Let's start with, again, money, investment, banking and investment, right? We know to make good games and to operate them, to promote them, we need, studios need money, bankers, investors have them. But they're surprisingly, let's say, ignorant and at the same time, right? So they would pump billions into Greek bonds, but they would not be willing to finance the next Candy Crush saga. So what we need to do, we need to literally educate them of how gaming business works, how we can generate lots of money. Give them examples. Give them Clash of Clans, which is generating from $3 to $5 million per day just on iOS. Give them the example of Dragons and Puzzles, which makes pretty much the same amount of money per day in just Japan. We also have to teach them how our schedules work, how our prototyping models work, and yes, you have to do maybe 5, maybe 7, maybe even 10 little games which we call prototypes, shifting the terms, in order to find that one killing game which will eventually earn billions. So we can do that, and this is everyday, hard work. The next one. Globalization and segmentation, I would call it. Traditionally, gaming industry is concentrated either on a certain geographic region, like North America or Europe or Russia, or a certain kind of niche. I think we should be trying to combine that stuff. Niche is good, and there are many good examples of really successful niche games, but they're usually on a small market, like Dragons and Puzzles in Japan. So if we manage to keep our games even more niche, targeted specifically at certain demographics, age group and habits, but through technology spread this game around the world, then even a very small niche game can generate the global revenues comparable to your big budget, mass market game. Relatively humorously, I could say, we may even be thinking about making games for such a marginal niche as the politicians. Please have a look.
Are you coming to bed?
I'll be up in a bit.
So see, and you can be sure that those guys do have some pocket money to spend for games. So let's go and grab that kind of money. Next is marketing, not just marketing, rocket science marketing. Let me explain you what I mean. Today, for example, online game, my heart is really bleeding at looking how expensive and ineffective it is. Those of you who market online games, you know that to acquire one user, sometimes it takes 10, it could be 20, sometimes it's even $50 to acquire one user. Give me a break. And I'm going to tell you why this is happening, because big advertising networks, they are tailored for decades, be it online, printed, or TV, they're tailored to promote such things as Nike shoes, auto insurance, detergent, all those normal things. They are not optimized for games. So we need to educate them and to work together with them to tailor their advertising proposal, the packages, specifically for kinds of games which we make. I'm going to tell you that a game like World of Tanks, or any successful online game, it requires globally something around $100 million per year of just marketing dollars. Given that carpet bombing, that ineffective carpet bombing which advertising networks are doing today, this is irreparable and unforgivable just waste of money. So we have, imagine, if we just manage, working with them, to improve our performance just 50%, make it to 2 times more effective, we would save how much? $50 million. The studio would save $50 million, which is enough to make a next big game or 2. Or when it comes to prototypes, that's another dozen of prototypes, out of which the next Clash of Clans will come. Of course, this is not very easy because it requires a lot of data warehousing, and that's why we the business intelligence, where huge amount of servers, huge amount of data, they on the fly, in real time are analyzing the player behavior, the connections with the advertising networks, and do a lot of calculations. But at the end of the day, they give us channels to access our particular player at a particular time with a particular game, minimizing our marketing budgets and making our whole life much more easier. A good point would be to talk about social networks. Today, yes, Facebook is huge, and speaking of time killing, they, inside their notorious social graph, they know pretty well how 1 billion of people are killing their time, and they're doing this with their friends, and they even know the names of those friends. And yes, companies like Zynga, they demonstrated how you can relatively successfully, on a big scale, monetize those people with social games. I say this is time for Facebook to open up social graph for big games. Just imagine if League of Legends database or our database is somehow connected to the Facebook social graph, so we can exchange data on the fly. Again, this will allow us to increase tenfold the effectiveness of our content, of our games, of our propositions. Again, saving dozens and hundreds of millions of our budgeting money and increasing the effectiveness pretty much all around the world. I just yesterday thought about a perfect combination of a social network and kick-butt business intelligence entity. Imagine if we as an industry managed to strike a deal with NSA, huh? Those people do know everything about everyone, what we're doing, when we're doing, what exactly we're doing, and with whom we're doing this. Yeah, but, well, that's, of course, is a joke. So the next point would be technology. There's zillions of articles, lectures, and books. I'll be very brief on technology. We all know this is happening today. Some of us are part of that. We just need to keep helping them with whatever we can. It's about all kinds of devices being easily accessible all around the world. The cheap cell phones and browser games and streaming technology and cloud technology. Okay, next generation consoles, the portable devices. Sooner or later, and the connectivity, the cost of internet, sooner or later, in a couple of years, I believe, pretty much with a push of a button, it will be possible, well, metaphorically, to publish any game, any cool game you create to publish it all around the world and deliver it to like 3 billion people within a second. So that definitely will dramatically increase our reach and obviously our revenues. But all those things, we are going to be smart about it. We are going to use them smartly for, at the end of the day, changing the people's attitude and perception to games. This is much more powerful than just a piece of hardware or the internet speed. Let me give you an example. This is how 10 years ago we used to enjoy bird watching. Frankly speaking, this is boring today. Nobody watching these documentaries anymore, just probably a small group of people. But this is how our kids enjoy birds today. Birds become much more funnier, much more angrier, much more interactive. That is the bird version of today for kids. And this is the interactive bird watching for big guys like myself and many of you. So we have to change the perception of games amongst pretty much the whole population. We have to bring games inside our daily lives, inside our typical routines. So let me show you your common day in the office, and you will recognize and you will guess what's gonna happen. Okay, they're tired, they need a break. They need to relax. And yes, this is what typically happens. You're going grabbing a cup of coffee, you go and smoke a couple of cigarettes with your friends, kill it in 15, 20 minutes. But imagine if we as an industry managed to storm into that part of their daily lives. Imagine if this video had another ending. So fighting a short battle or two for 15 minutes instead of smoking a cigarette definitely is healthier, and as many games already demonstrated, totally is possible. We need to push more of this. So I'm going to wrap this up already, because this list of things we can do as an industry outside of the industry is endless. Yes, we have to go outside and grab those market shares from other time and money killing industries. Yes, we have to change people's perceptions and attitudes. However, the problem is, let's be honest, we are not doing this every day. We're doing very, very little, like nothing. Ask yourself a question. For the last 7 days, how much time, how many hours did you, ladies and gentlemen, spend specifically for making our industry look better? Not your own game, not your own company, the industry as a whole. Change in perception. How much? Yeah, of course, we have gatherings like D.I.C.E, of course, like GDC. We come together for a couple of days and we're talking about how cool and noble our industry is. But again, that's pretty much trying to convince ourselves. We know that. We need to go out. We need to push it. We need to bring this information to the outer world, and we have to become missionaries and go on proactive crusade. Literally. Why don't our schedules look like the following? Monday from, 11 to 12, give an interview to a local TV station about the educational impact of video games. Or having lunch with your local senator or a banker, explaining them how cool gaming industry is. or working, sending your specialist to your local ISP, internet service provider, to teach them or to help them to improve, let's say, connectivity or ping times. This all, if we do it every day proactively, will help us to reach that change of perception. Well, of course, eventually this will help us to bring those revenues to us. I can think of this funny example. Why don't our ladies go on Facebook groups, blogs, websites, forums, and start talking about how beautiful a game like League of Legends or World of Tanks is? Why? It's simple. At first, I'm trying to imitate. At first, it was annoying. I mean, he was playing all the time. But now, he is spending quality time, the husband is spending quality time with our son. They're bonding like never before. They have something in common. This is great. Moreover, every day, by 7 o'clock p.m., he's back home, obviously skipping some drinking in bar with his buddies, and hopefully not even thinking about cheating. How cool is that? But that's not a joke. Actually, in Russia, for World of Tanks, there's this social trend on the forums. The wives actually are talking like this, and they're boasting like how much better and happier their lives become when World of Tanks was introduced. So yes, we can do that too. Many other things. Go help local communities or do some meaningful charities in the name of games. We can do that. You would think probably that, yeah, we're all competitors here at the end of the day. But let me tell you this. If our combined effort succeeds in, let's say, converting or changing attitude to video games for 500 million extra people, we will have more players all of a sudden than our current game development capacity can provide to serve. So, and especially if we combine our niche approach and this globalization, we can take that. I'm telling you, if this is happening, we are going to be looking at a huge, ever-growing blue ocean of opportunity, and there will be a place for all of us there. So anyway, we have to start doing this. And this is what I propose. We're going to meet at the beginning of next year in Vegas. And I'm going to be looking in your eyes. And you will be looking in each other's eyes. And you will be asking this question. What did you do today to promote the industry, to change its image? Not your game, not your company, the industry. So if we do this, I think even 200 billion of revenues will be small in comparison of what we're going to have in a couple of years. And before I forget, I want to tell you one last thing. While you're going out on that crusade against those, filthy external money and time-taking industries, please don't forget to keep creating great games. If we do this together, we will shred all of our enemies in pieces. So, as we say at Wargaming, let's battle. Thank you very much.